Yo, it's Go, and welcome to the video. This is part 4 of the Sunwell gearing plan, assuming it's going to be gated. This will be after the third gate opens. We have access to the final boss of TBC, and that of course is Kil'Jaeden. We will have access to a new cloak, which I'm sure is going to be every caster's best in slot and highly contested. A couple of cloth helms, one with spirit and crit with a red socket, one without spirit, a blue socket, and crit haste. A couple more pairs of gloves, some cloth with spirit and haste, and the other pair with hit and haste. We do get one leather helm as well with spirit, a red socket, and crit. We have the main hand caster dagger, which we will be lucky to see one of these. So we're back over on the simulator. If you haven't seen parts 1 through 3, check those out first and then come back. But really quickly in those videos, if you don't want to go back and watch them, the main thing I'm trying to compare is the 4-piece tier 5 set with a 4-piece tier 6 as well, to gear sets without both sets of gear, dropping the 4-piece tier 5 for the new Sunwell gear. So up until Kil'Jaeden, this is what I have planned, if it's gated, to work towards. It simmed 2 DPS higher in the previous video, but we'll start with 2380 DPS with this set and fill in the new gear and see what we have. So we can go ahead and put the cloak on and upgrade our dagger to Sunflare. Just those two pieces gave us a pretty nice boost. 81 DPS from just adding the cloak and the dagger. So we are spending 0.5 seconds out of mana. And just to compare, I switched 3 yellow gems that were haste and spell power to crit and spell power, and the DPS didn't really change. And we're still spending the same amount of time out of mana. So dropping the tier 5, I've made a couple changes. I put the tier 6 helm on to keep the 4-piece tier 6 and change the tier 6 gloves to the hit haste cloth gloves. So we're now just under hit cap. I also went ahead and didn't use the leather pieces. I put the cloth pieces in here since I used leather last time just to see what kind of difference there is. So we've got cloth legs, cloth shoulders, and the cloth robes. And I had to change the neck to also gain a little bit of hit. So using all of those off pieces, our DPS is going down, but it's because we're spending a lot more time out of mana. So if we change from Destro pot to mana pot, that will get our DPS to go up, since we will no longer be running out of mana. I think fights are less fun if we have to mana pot and use Destro. So in my case, with the raid buffs that I get, giving away Enervate to the mage most fights, even though this set has a higher DPS potential, it's very unlikely that we get all of this cloth gear. And this is just one example. We could tweak all of these slots and move around the tier 6 piece to other slots to get the 4-piece bonus still. Another way is changing the trinket back to Hex Shrunken Head, putting Destro pot back on, and we'll be doing about the same DPS as if we had the double 4-piece set. We just won't be spending as much time out of mana. So the point of that really is the Hex Shrunken Head is not gonna wear on your mana bar, since it's only dealing with spell power, where the Shifting Naru Sliver has a whole lot of haste on it. But this has the higher Starfire crit potential, so I will be trying to use this if I can. To give one more example, if we change to the tier 6 legs for the 4-piece bonus and swap the helm, I chose the cloth with spirit and crit over the crit haste. Just because of the mana issues, I think this one will probably do it a little bit better. And we did go up, not running out of mana too much, still with the Destro pot, so there will be plenty of options. But the likelihood of us getting a cloth helm is going to be really RNG. But even the leather helm is doing about the same as that cloth helm, so leather over cloth in this instance is an option. So to summarize the entire plan, first we want to get our tier belt, boots, and bracers to get our 4-piece tier 5, 4-piece tier 6 set. Then we want to upgrade our weapon, rings, trinket, and necklace in no particular order. However it drops and however you get your prio will be fine. And that's going to be the Reign of Misery and Heart of the Pit for the main hand offhand, the Ring of Omnipotence, as well as getting the Loop of Forged Power crafted to swap out in case we need hit the Shifting Naru Sliver. I think it's going to be really nice as long as we're not running out of mana. And then the Amulet of Unfettered Magics. Again, if we need hit, like in this gear set here, we had to swap from the brooch to the amulet to get to our hit cap. And in the meantime, while we're collecting all of that loot, all of the leather pieces should be pretty uncontested. So just collect everything that's leather that drops that no one else needs. Maybe an Ellie Shaman would want some. I don't know if they have better male gear. So all of these might be just given to you, but we won't really have any use, at least until we get to Kil'Jaeden. And throughout the last phase of TBC in Sunwell, collect all the cloth gear for chest, gloves, legs, helm, all of that. So when you do get to Kil'Jaeden, you can maybe swap out the double 4-piece set and all of the healing gear too, because once the pre-patch comes, all of the healing gear gets pretty much equalized to the caster gear, and some pieces might even end up being better stat-wise for us than the DPS cloth gear that we have. So keep an eye out on healing gear. Once your 5 or 6 healers aren't interested in it anymore, start to pick up the leather and cloth healing pieces, maybe the weapons too. So thanks so much for tuning in to this gear plan series of videos. When it comes to the simulator, everyone's going to have different raid buffs, different consumable preferences, different fight links that they prefer to test with. So I strongly encourage you to get to the simulator and mess around with it with your particular playstyle and find what gear set matches you the best. I'd love to see what sets you guys are coming up with. Leave links in the comments and we can discuss them. And I will see you in Sunwell.